and welcome to Delta Sparks Pod, Episode 9. I am Evan.
I am Andie. Pop, 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 pop.
Dewey Pop Pop.
No Dewey.
Find her on OnlyFans at Dewey Pop Pop. It's a free subscription, but make sure you put the credit card in, folks, because that's how we get you.
Yep, absolutely, just desperate,
So, Dewey, how was your week?
My week is stressful.
Stressful.
Oy. How's your week been?
My week is stressful. You sound like my Jewish grandmother. Like, you want some gefilte fish? Gefilte fish.
Oh gosh. Yeah.
My week has been a hot mess mixed with a dumpster fire mixed with screaming diarrhea. Oh. Not literally, emotionally.
Emotional screaming diarrhea. That's like the second worst kind.
Yeah. Basically, like my emotional diarrhea can be summed up in like when you taste something really weird and you just go, ooh, spicy.
My poor butthole.
My poor You know what my dad always says is after you eat something spicy, you want to eat some ice cream. Because when you go to take a shit later, that ice cream soothes it and you're just sitting there going, come on, ice cream.
I feel like that's not true, but I'm here for it.
That's my just the tip for today. Come on, ice cream. No,
Wait,
it's
do you sit on the ice cream?
I mean, that would be soothing.
It would work, right?
But if you sit on the ice cream, is it a bowl of ice cream or an ice cream pop?
Or is it... Yeah, that's a good question.
Vanilla or chocolate? Because chocolate would blend in.
I just gotta say, at that point, I don't think it matters. Just maybe no, like, moose tracks. Wait, do you guys have moose tracks?
I don't know what that is.
Oh, it's delicious.
So like Rocky Road?
But better. I believe Moose Tracks has like chocolate chunks and like Reese's cups, like little peanut butter cups.
So fun fact, I'm not a huge chocolate fan in general. I don't like chocolate ice cream and I hate peanut butter.
Okay, so maybe this is not the ice cream for you.
No, I'm like a mint chip type of girl.
Yeah, I
like it fresh with a little chunka. So Andie,
where is it?
You've been studying all week.
I have been.
For your gynecological exam.
That one I'm gonna ace like flying colors, but
you just throw your legs up and you ace it.
Yeah, I'm pretty good at that. No, I'm not. Oh God.
Is it smear or schmear? Is it smear or schmear?
I get on the phone with Evan's grandma. Yeah. Schmear. Schmear.
It's a schmear.
And a bagel.
Schmear.
So I luckily got in and I have now finally scheduled my CFQ, which means that I hopefully as of Tuesday will be able to practice electrical anywhere in Canada. So
I thought you were finally going to be able to knit fucking quietly.
No, I will probably never be able to do that.
Knit quietly or knit?
Knit quietly. I can knit.
You just there doing like cross pine. You're like, yeah.
No, I just never stop talking.
You're just over there like, Andrew, why won't you pants me? I'm wearing my mom's thong, and I got self tanning lotion all over my butt cheeks.
No, I don't say that.
Butt cheeks.
And pearl.
Okay. Way to make it weird.
Yeah, I did that.
So you're going to be able to do electrical work on your own if you so choose to.
Yes and no. I now no longer need a journeyman to be working with me, but in order for me to start my own business, then I have to get my master's. Same as with you guys, I believe, right?
So is that your red seal?
So my red seal is a journeyman, basically. But
okay.
So in Canada, there are some provinces where you can be a journeyman in the province, but not necessarily having your red seal. So like Alberta, I
Oh,
believe, has two different tests. So in order
gotcha.
to be able to work as a licensed electrician outside of
Alberta.
Alberta, you have to do the second test to get your red seal. But in Ontario, it's just one test.
One test, one and done. Now, is that just for your province? Is that what we're calling it in Canada? We have states here.
There's no states here. So we
I
have
know.
provinces and territories.
You damn Canadians.
That's right.
Listen, there's only two things I hate in this world: people who judge other people based on their nationality, and damn dirty Canadians.
And the Dutch.
And the Dutch. Yes, thank you.
So
Gold.
I love gold.
Love
Oh, that's a
gold.
keyword. So my test that I'll be writing, I will be able to practice. I will be able to. I'm an electrician in Ontario, as well as I'm recognized in every province as an electrician.
So
So
Canada.
it's kind of like a big one. It's a big.
Isn't
test.
it kind of weird how like most professions when you get licensed in it, it's like, okay, you can do this, but like doctors, lawyers, like therapists, it's like it's a practice. It's like, bitch, you're sticking a finger in me, it better not be practice.
Yeah, you better be well skilled at that.
Yeah, and lubed. So testing. Testing is difficult. I didn't do well in school in tests because I was just like, fuck this. Also, I had no attention span.
So, did you ever have to go to school for electrical?
I feel like I should have a better answer for the amount of homes I've wired, but no.
So I'm just curious because I know, like myself, I kind of in high school I just cruised. Like I never really
Right.
put too much work into it. Same with
Right.
university. Like I was there for sports, but then once I
And
was in
spandex.
college and spandex, well, that kind of goes hand in hand. Come on now.
Right.
So, but once I was into college and doing my like schooling for my apprenticeship, which we have 3 mandatory terms of schooling that we have to go to,
Right.
it's different because it's stuff that I understood. It was a form of learning that I understood, having the practical application. And then
Right.
it was also, I liked it and I was good at it. So,
Yeah. So in my state, it's different. Like we've talked about before, other states, you have to be a registered apprentice with the state. You have to be registered with a school. All these things. In Jersey, Pennsylvania, New York,
Virginia,
and I
right?
think
With Josh.
Virginia. Yeah. Probably a few other states. Probably Florida, because Florida's just like, let's be honest, Florida's a hot mess. It's a lot looser than it is in other states like Massachusetts, Connecticut, basically all of New England, California. I know for sure you have to be a registered apprentice. So it's like it's set up kind of like how it is up there, where it's set up to get you to being licensed.
Right.
In New Jersey, it's not really set up to get you to be licensed. You really have to either find a company that pushes you to do that and will pay for schooling, and that's if you're non-union, or you have to kind of navigate that journey on your own, which is very difficult.
Right.
Union is different. Union is, they send you to school, different locals do it different ways. Like there's 2 locals in my area. One local, I believe, sends you to school every 10th workday and you get paid for it. And another local, you go to school 1 night a week, but you get paid for it.
So either way, you're getting paid to go to school for that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
I'm
the way
an idiot, so that's why I didn't want to get paid to go to school.
yeah, forget that. So for mine, we have the government. I believe it's the Canadian government. I don't think it's the provincial government. They basically will cover half of our schooling costs. We pay some, and then we collect unemployment while we're in school. But there's a special contingency for our unemployment saying, I am sponsored by somebody to be here. I am in school. I am here for a reason, and I'm ready and able to work when I'm done. And then we also have grants that we can apply for that more than cover the cost of our schooling once we finish, should you pass. You have to prove that you've passed. So, and actually for women in trades, it's like 3 times as much as it is for men, which is pretty cool.
Maybe Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, I never really wanted to run my own company. So yeah, and I don't plan on leaving New Jersey ever again, like in terms of moving to another state like I have in the past. So
Mhm.
I'm kind of happy where I am. Maybe down the road I'll look into that just to get, I don't know, to
Yeah,
have to pay insurance to carry insurance, but
yeah. It's one of
I
those
don't know.
never say never situations, but you're pretty content where you are
Yeah.
now. Yeah,
Yeah, there's very few never say nevers in my book.
yeah.
Um so I mean, like, for example, like for you guys, it's laid out for here in New Jersey. It's really about like taking the initiative to get to that point. Um, Initiative is not something I've always been, how do you say, known for. Uh, I am a very busy, lazy person. Does that make
I feel
sense?
that. Yep. I would say I'm probably under that as well.
I'm kind of
When I
like a
have
sloth
downtime,
with
I
it.
have big time downtime.
Yeah, I'm like a sloth that has a Coke binge habit, if that makes sense.
Like working at
Um,
the DMV.
yeah, number 62. Number 62. No, I mean, here's the thing. I take initiative in things that I'm interested in,
Yeah,
right? Like
that's exactly it.
I I didn't do well in school specifically because I didn't give a shit about a lot of it. Like it didn't interest me, it didn't excite me. I'm really good at math. I'm really good with like basic, like science and stuff like that and like theories and stuff. If I like learn them, like if I choose to.
Mhm.
Um, where I really, really fail, and you know this, and my wife knows this, is in the department of which the language I speak, English. Um,
Yeah, I've noticed. Maybe like once or twice. Yeah.
yeah, so I'll get a little deep for you for a second. So growing up, uh, I was a very active kid. Um, and I got expelled in second grade. So I got sent to a school for children with emotional behavior disorders.
Ooh,
Yeah.
that sounds like a heavy
Um,
label.
yeah. Yeah. And so the schools you kind of got graded on, like, you didn't throw a chair at the teacher today, you got an A. Wasn't
Mm,
really focused so much on the academics.
fair.
So where I excelled is like where my brain is just built for, and where I didn't excel, it wasn't really pushed or prodded. And then eventually, when I made the transition back to public school, um, I
When
was
was
just
that? How old were you when you came back to public school?
middle sixth grade.
Oh wow,
So that
that's a
was
long time.
yeah, I was out from middle of second to middle of sixth, so like 4 or 5 years. I
Mhm.
still lived in the same town. I did like recreational sports with other kids, so I knew a lot of them. But I also went back to public school with kind of a label because everyone knew I went to a different school, so I was
Right.
different.
Well, I'm
But
just thinking, even that's a long time to be missing out on like the
the
building blocks.
fundamentals, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It is funny though how I got expelled in second grade.
Care to share?
Sure. I didn't think I was going to be talking about this today. So I don't know about in Canada because no one's a criminal in Canada.
Not
But we
true. Please
have
continue.
we have criminals in the United States of America, and we had like assemblies when we were kids where the police would come in and like, don't talk to strangers, don't get in a van, don't take candy, that kind of stuff.
Mhm.
Um, and after the assembly, we went back to class, and I remember we were. It's weird how you remember certain things, certain days. Um, we were learning to write in cursive, like we were learning cursive, which I still can't fucking do. Maybe this is why. Um,
You're scarred
and
now.
I'm scarred. And I asked to go to the bathroom, and the teacher said, "Okay." So the boys' room was directly across the hall from our classroom. Now we're on the second floor, and I walk into the bathroom, and it was actually right around this time of year. It was right around spring break, um, or Easter break, and I walk into the boys' room, and on the sink is a box of blue urinal cakes. Okay. For those of you who do not know what a blue urinal cake is, or have never seen a urinal, there's these little hockey pucks that dissolve when you pee on them. It helps to dissipate the odor. Um, and then at the end of the bathroom, there was the window, and the window was open because it was a nice, spring day out. And I looked down, and right below me is the cop car. Now, some people, will say that I don't think things through, that I'm reckless, that I'm impulsive. I think the word that they would use is impulsive. I like to say I'm spontaneous. Okay. And
all about those connotations, right?
yeah. And before I knew it, I am heave-hoeing these fucking urinal cakes as hard as a second grader can throw them at the cop car. Now, the urinal cakes, they don't really do much damage. I think I may have cracked the side view mirror, and the car had a bunch of blue scuffs on it. Then I realized, oh shit, what did I do? And I tear ass back to the classroom. Now, there was no one in the bathroom. There was no one in the hallways. No one saw me. But 2 seconds later, knock at my classroom door, and it's the principal and the cop. And they asked to see me, of all people. So I come out in the hallway, and I got my hands behind my back, like this.
Because they're blue.
And, well, one of them is. I'm not ambidextrous, Andy, okay? We're not all geniuses.
I don't know. Maybe it's a two-handed throw. Maybe you were really bad at sports. I don't know.
I was actually really good at sports, which is how I hit the car with every urinal cake. So I have my hands behind my back. Yep. No. Tomato, potato. So I have my hands behind my back, and the principal's like, Evan, why'd you throw the urinal cakes at the cop car? I was like, I don't know what you're talking about. She goes, let me see your hands. So I put my hands out in front of me, face down. She goes, Evan, flip over your hand. I flip over my left hand because I'm a righty. She goes, Evan, flip over your right hand. I flip over my right hand. Fucking blue. She goes, Evan, why is your hand blue? And without skipping a beat, I was finger painting. And she goes, but you're learning to write in cursive. And I go, yeah, in finger paints. And that began, and that, ladies and gentlemen, is why I can't spell and don't know grammar. Good night, folks. Don't forget to tip your waitresses.
Oh, beautiful. Beautiful.
Today
okay.
I can take responsibility for that. But back then,
Well, it's scary as a second grader, and having a police officer come up, that's scary. Wow.
What's really funny is 2 years prior in kindergarten, that same cop awarded me with saving my brother's life in front of the whole school. Awarded me with like a certificate and stuff.
The same cop.
Same cop.
Wow.
I'm pretty sure I ended up like smoking weed in high school with his son in his basement.
You're going to say with him, and I was going to lose my mind.
No, but with his partner.
That's so funny.
Oh yeah, but I don't know. Boy. I don't know how we got to where we are now, but
so you don't test well.
So I don't test well. So when it comes to learning things that I want to learn or things that interest me, I take initiative. An initiative for me is something that is a double-edged sword. It can be your biggest asset, but it could also be your biggest deficit.
Right.
It also, I think there's a couple different scenarios where that's true. Like, I mean, we can talk about being on a job site, taking initiative. You can take initiative, and your foreman or your boss or your journeyman might applaud that and go, "Wow, okay." Whereas your coworkers typically aren't as thrilled, right? Case in point, taking initiative or taking responsibility for things. A couple weeks back, our foreman went on vacation for a week, came back from vacation, and then the company sat him at home for a week to quarantine.
Of course.
We were in the middle of a freight train down a mountain of a fucking deadline. And we had this huge refrigeration project that needed to be done that was part of our overall project. Okay. I mean, it's like a 10,000 square foot refrigerated area that has multiple sections. So there's 4 huge units, and then there's 14. Yeah, he said unit.
Huge unit.
huge unit. So there's 4 huge units, and then there's 14 like medium units, and each 14 medium refrigeration distributors. So that first day he was out, we had gotten the print, and I took the initiative to, since I didn't have something I was specifically working on, to sit down with the print, because it was like 7 or 8 different pages that were all the same drawing, but with different markings and different, labelings. So I took it upon myself to sit down and break all of it down and compile it onto one readable print. So that way we could figure out how many wires we had to pull, from where to where, what they should be labeled. As I'm walking around the job with the print in my hand, somebody says something to one of the guys. So one of the guys I'm working with says something to another guy I'm working with, the guy whom is, me and him are really close, and says to him, why is Evan just fucking walking around? Who does he think he is? To which I respond with, well, fuck that guy. I'll just go back up in the ceiling and pretend to do shit for the next week. Now, mind you, I had already figured it all out and written it down. And this is where I guess taking responsibility comes into play. Fast forward a month, my foreman on Thursday, a week ago, pretty much came in, went to get a rapid COVID test at about 9 a.m., came back at 10 and said, hey guys, guess what? I have COVID, and left with less than a week until the deadline. And once again, this print was handed to me because I had to relabel everything at the control panel, right? So I had to take all the markings that, excuse my language, the fuckwads who ran the wire, who weren't me, decided to mark them as, which was like 1 through A through Z, and then 1 through like 26 or 29, which they had didn't tell you where they went, didn't tell you what they were for. Turns out they used the print that I put together that I wasn't finished with and just pulled off of that. Yeah. So they were missing about 30 plus wires. Yikes. So foreman leaves. The guy I'm really close with gets put in charge, and he hands his project to me. And for the last, I don't know, I worked Thursday, Friday, Saturday, didn't work Sunday. And then this week has been 10, 11, 12-hour days already. I'm coming in an hour or two before everyone to figure everything out, to get them the ball rolling. And then it seems like every 2 hours, something else is being added to it or changed, because it's not electrical, it's refrigeration. There's a refrigeration company there that we're contracted to do all this for, in addition to all the other stuff we have to do on the job site. So, I mean, it's tough because I have other guys working under me now, and I am responsible for anything they do. Yes, I have men working under me, Andie. You're a child.
That is true. I feel like, I hope that's something that you ultimately will be recognized for. I hope that your efforts will be recognized, if not by your coworkers, by at least someone higher up within your company. When I first started this job, within the first month for sure of working there, I did the same thing. Okay, we are showing initiative with this project. We're moving right along. Okay, we are trying to hit a certain standard. So basically for the standard, I may have talked about this already on here, I can't remember. We have to hit this certain standard, so we have to have documentation for everything.
Oh, so this is the
torque specs.
The torque specs, yeah.
So yeah. I took initiative and told the man that I was working with to get this designation that I would reach out to Wera. I would get us this documentation that we needed to check these torque specs. And later on, it came back. I ended up reaching out to Jamie from Wera. Jamie, hi Jamie, we love you. And we basically, I had a project manager come up who is not my boss, but he ended up basically telling me that I overstepped. So that is something that now kind of will play in my head as to what I should be taking initiative with. How far should I be going with it? Is this something I should be clearing with my boss first? Is it something that I should be going up the chain of command as well before I do anything? Which, in my defense, I thought that I had. I thought that I had been cleared for this, and so it ultimately ended up just being a miscommunication between a couple different parties that were pretty much on like even footing, but it came down to the miscommunication. But I was a little jaded by it and a little wary of it from then on.
Well, the thing is everyone has an ego. Everyone does. Okay. Mm-hmm. And when you get enough people, I'm going to make a blanket statement, which may be very off, but most people in the trades, most are a bit headstrong, a bit of a character, have a bit of a personality, and are a little bit egocentric or ego-driven. Okay. If you don't like my generalization, then that's okay. And I'm not saying everyone is like this, but I think there's a certain type of personality of people who end up working in the trades.
Yep.
And when you have loud, outgoing, outspoken people, you get egos. And yeah, I'm it, you're it. I mean, that's why we get along so well, is because if we were on a job together, it would be the same thing as if we were staring at each other like now, camera to camera.
Yep. I'd be laughing at the dirty jokes that you say.
Tip to tip.
Tip to tip.
But no one wants to feel second best. No one wants to feel like their input wasn't, asked for or considered.
Or even that their input wasn't good enough, right?
Right. And so when you have enough people in varying degrees of leadership or seniority, and you think you've cleared something, and turns out maybe you didn't clear it with all the parties necessary, or even if you didn't have to clear it with that person, and then they come in and they're like, well, you really should have fucking talked to me first. And I was like, well, you were just kind of standing there picking your ass, and I needed to get shit done.
Mm-hmm. But I have to say that this kind of thing comes back to me about self-care. Like that, it comes back to me how jaded I was feeling after that. Maybe jaded isn't quite the right word, but we're wary.
No, I think jaded is right. It's like, A, yes, wary because you don't want to get in that again, but B, it's kind of like, well, I went above and beyond and now I'm getting shit on. Well, knock, knock, who's there? Fuck you.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe not quite with that kind of animosity for me, but it's, I need to take care of me first. Like, I'm not going to spend the time going out of my way to do something that, if that's something that somebody higher up wants to do, or somebody else feels like they are more suited to take care of it, I don't want to be in that position of where I still feel like I'm going to the principal's office, or the principal and a police officer are coming and knocking on my door. Like, obviously that's what happened for me. But like, I need to take care of me and worry about that first, and make sure I'm, like we said, the building blocks. Like, I'm still new in this job.
Right. Yeah. No, I got you. I do. I think there's a fine line between, doing your job and being the person who you are, or I'll speak for myself, doing my job and being the person who I am, which is, I can't just sit idly by and watch stuff get missed or fall through the cracks or messed up, or like, people doing shit wrong. But at the same time, kind of going back to an episode we did 2 episodes ago, would you rather be happy or would you rather be right? Mm-hmm. And I mean, in terms of self-care, it's like, yeah, part of my self-care, like, on a job site, is minding my P's and Q's, trying to know when I should be speaking, who I should be speaking with, and vice versa, who I shouldn't and when I shouldn't. But at the same time, it's like, there's 80% of the guys on my job sites, they're just there to be there. They're there for a paycheck. They do work, but don't expect anything more from them than exactly what you've laid out. Don't
punch
expect them
in
to
at
catch
7 o'clock and they're punching out at 4:30. Like,
exactly.
yeah.
And we talked about this, I think, on a previous episode, or maybe it's a future episode, I think, with Chad, the episode coming up of like where
in the future.
in the future, where after that situation where someone said something to somebody and it got back to me, for the rest of the week, I was basically looking for another job and was just consumed with anger and animosity and self-pity, to the point of where I almost quit. And, I can't let myself get to that point again.
That's your ego talking, right?
Exactly. That's my ego talking.
Your ego driving your decisions.
But at the same time, I also can't just be one of the lemming who are just there. That's not who I am. That's
exactly it. That's not your personality. That's not you. That's not you. It's not you.
Yeah.
It's not me either.
And to the same point, like a company is a company, a job is a job. If this isn't the forever one, then this isn't the forever one. So I'm going to continue to be me in a more conscious headspace and do my best to leave work at work.
Yeah.
And when I come home and take care of myself, like, make sure I'm eating, make sure I'm getting enough rest, make sure I'm spending enough time with my wife and my family, and like not my kids, like me, like my parents, like Saturday, my cats, my baby Sadie, my baby Satan.
Satan.
And Satan. Baby Sadie and Satan. That's my wife's cat. My wife's cat is Satan. But I feel like you need to take care of yourself because you can't expect others to. And if you don't take care of yourself, then at the end of the day, you're going to just put yourself in an early grave, whether by choice or by not choice.
Yep.
So with talking about putting yourself in the grave and putting things in other things, you want to give me just a tip?
Okay, so my just the tip for today is going to be apprentice focused. I'm specifically going to be talking to a little like newer apprentices, maybe first or second years, or somebody just starting a job. So my just the tip today is going to be go slow, learn your stuff, and then get fast. Get good, then get fast. So take your time, do things right, do them clear, and do them well.
I feel like you could say the same thing about, I feel like you could say the same thing about sex. Like the first time you have sex, typically people just were like, you really want to take your time.
I feel so bad for your wife.
Not my first time with my wife.
Oh, okay.
I mean, sorry. I mean, yes, I was a virgin.
You're a liar. Your pants are smoking, Evan.
No, I agree. Again, talking like how we were
realistically, I guess that doesn't just apply to apprentices, like that applies to everyone, but specifically I am saying don't worry about people rushing you and telling you to be getting done things faster, but go at your own pace, challenge yourself to do it faster, but make sure you're learning your basics and getting them down first. That's my just tip for this week.
Yes, there's a what's the word I'm thinking of? You don't want to be the fastest because you're going to mess things up, and you don't want to be the most perfect at things because it's not time. It's not cost effective.
That's me.
Yes, that is you.
I'm slow. My stuff looks phenomenal, and it generally works first time, but I'm slow.
Takes a year and a day.
Yeah.
You want to find consistency.
That's right. Hit your middle ground, right? And then what's your what is your just the tip for this week?
My just the tip. My just the tip is it's going to be in the self-care realm. So with the week I've been having, because it's Wednesday right now, and the just being kind of thrown into a shit sandwich situation, is to, when you feel like you're getting overwhelmed or you feel like everything's spinning out of control, is to walk away from the situation for a minute and gather yourself. With everything that's going on right now at work, I got a bunch of guys talk about egos who all think that they know more than me about the specific, refrigeration stuff we're doing. And they just are, they're the, let's just get shit done. Let's just get shit done. And sometimes you have to take your time and figure things out first. And when you have a lot of people yelling at you, or a lot of people coming to you, and you're still trying to figure out the situation, it can be very overwhelming.
Big time.
So
very stressful.
Be aware of how you feel, be aware of where you are, and if you need to, remove yourself for a brief moment. Mm-hmm. You have anything to say on that?
I think that's great. Take a breath, recenter yourself, and just even sometimes taking that breath can give you a different vantage point on a problem you're looking at. And
yeah. Sometimes screaming too, just like walking away and just going, yeah, and then just,
or just like
the fuck was that? Sounds like someone just kicked a seagull in the crotch.
Do seagulls have crotches? Oh shit! I just gave away one of my questions. Sorry.
Speaking of questions,
did you like that? Did you like that Segui?
Segui, yeah, I like the Segui. So we are changing the name of this next segment from the lightning round to the Adderall round, where either we're gonna go really fast or we're gonna speak really slowly,
like we're talking in quicksand.
Oh my god, man! You just shot yourself in the neck with the drink on. You crazy, man.
You crazy.
I like you. What movie?
Oh, I know it's Will Ferrell and Sean William Scott, and I know Sean William Scott, he has a petting zoo.
I've come to talk with you again.
It's not Step Brothers. No, is it Old School?
Yes.
Yes! That's a good one. That's a great movie. Okay, would you like to go first?
I'll go first because someone was more prepared.
Yep, that's not me.
Question 1. What is the least sexiest name?
That is a good question. Are we talking female or male? Male.
Either one.
Okay, I'm gonna go.
I thought male, but that's like the first one that came to my head.
Okay, fair. I'm gonna do a women's name, and I think either Carol or Karen are the least sexy names. No, I'm gonna stick with Carol as my first and final answer.
Okay, I went with a K as well. Carl,
yeah.
Because I just pictured like a woman having sex with a dude named Carl, and she's like, "Oh, Coral, yeah, Coral,
oh no,
Coral, I got self tanning lotion Coral over my butt cheeks."
Oh my gosh. Okay, I like
For
it.
anyone who's wondering where that voice came from, or why I keep saying butt cheeks,
what's
there's a
the
show on
called?
Netflix, Big Head. No, Big Mouth.
Yes.
And that character is a young girl by the name of Lola, who is voiced by Nick Kroll, one of my favorite comedic actors.
That show is show is incredible. I personally hate how much I love it, and I find it deals with a lot of like coming of age issues, but with a very like twisted.
I feel like I could have used. I feel like I really could have used that when I was younger.
I feel like the messages behind it definitely, but I wouldn't have been allowed to watch that show.
If you had to pick a character that directly represented you, like you in the show, who would it be?
Lola. I'm a dump truck.
I'm a dump truck. I feel like honestly though, I'm more of a Coach Steve. Like, hey guys.
No.
The seagulls keep taking all my food at the diaper barge.
Oh no, poor Coach
Oh
Steve.
no.
Oh no. Okay.
You know why I love
question.
Coach Steve? Because he's too stupid to know that people are fucking with him.
I know.
To be oblivious.
Yeah.
All right, what's your question?
Okay. Question the first. Now, Evan, tell me, would you rather own a dragon or be a dragon?
Be a dragon.
Really? I would rather own a dragon.
No.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, no.
I can own multiple dragons.
No, it
and
wasn't. Do you
ride them
want
like water skis.
No, it wasn't. Would you rather own multiple dragons or be a dragon? It's would you rather own a dragon or be a dragon? Yeah, it's cool owning a dragon. It's cool owning a dragon, but there's a difference between like owning a gun and being a gun. You know what I mean? It's like, hey, check out this gun.
I'm Canadian. I don't know.
Okay, but if I owned a dragon, then yeah, like it maybe hopefully. Listen, if a dragon was anything like any dogs I've ever owned, I'd be fucked because they did not listen to me.
Yeah, and they don't breathe fire, so
no. I'm just like I'm coming into work like somebody's like starts fucking with me.
Think about how fast you run pipe.
Yeah, I just throw a fucking flame out the nostril, burn them shits down. When I'm hungry, I just fly away. Ooh, there's a sheep. Just eat it whole and spit the bones back out.
So many sheep. So many sheep would it take?
I'll go to Scotland.
You? Okay.
Or just go in the ocean. I'll eat a whale. All of its blubber.
Okay, then what would you do if you were actually just like a tiny dragon? Like you were like the size of a dog. Like a small dog. Like a Shih Tzu. And you're just like, your fire is just like...
I don't know.
All right, sorry, your question.
I'd probably name myself Carl and kill myself. Okay.
Carl the Dragon.
Carl the Dragon. Yay!
With the personality of Coach Steve.
Yeah.
Yikes.
Why or why not is a hot dog a sandwich?
Is it a sandwich? Okay.
Is it or isn't it?
I say no.
And why?
I say no. To me, a sandwich, and I refuse to acknowledge a submarine as a sandwich for this particular argument. I feel that the fact that the bun is closed on one side makes it not a sandwich for me.
Well, not all hot dogs are in a bun that's closed on one side.
All the best hot dogs are.
Okay. So,
because I'm putting so much shit into that hot dog that I need it closed on the underside, or everything's going everywhere.
Definition of a sandwich.
Hit me.
An item of food consisting of 2 pieces of bread. Okay, so it could be
already
2 pieces
there.
Of bread with meat, cheese, or any other filling between them, eaten as a light meal.
Okay, also, second point, if I'm eating hot dogs, it's sure as shit not going to be a light meal.
No, I ate like 5 on Saturday.
That's right.
I also ate 4 yesterday for lunch.
You know what? Okay, with the buns or just like hot dogs?
No, with the buns, of course.
That's a lot of bread. Are you carb loaded?
I have a hyperactive thyroid. That's how I keep this 12-year-old girl physique.
Jealous. I think I have a
hypo
sloth-like thyroid.
I have a sloth on Adderall type of thyroid.
Thyroid. Okay. All right. Are you ready? Question the second. Would you rather wear socks for the entire rest of your life, like every second for the rest of your life, or never wear socks again?
Never wear socks again.
Me too, 100%. I'm not wearing socks.
I walked from one end of Santa Monica to the other in Venice, completely barefoot. I walked halfway across LA once barefoot. I've walked through Manhattan.
That just sounds like a bad idea. Both of those sound like terrible ideas.
I walked through actually a bunch of major cities when I was on tour once barefoot, just because I was like, fuck it.
See, to me, it reminds me of like leaving the bar. I'm wearing high heels and I'm like why am I wearing these? These make my feet hurt. And then off they come, and I'm trekking home in Montreal with no shoes on.
And no pants on. Okay.
Well, I'm wearing a dress, so usually no pants under dress.
If animals could talk, which would be the rudest?
Oh. I think those monkeys that fling poo would be pretty rude.
Really?
Yeah. I also think that a lion would be very rude.
My wife, when I asked her this, immediately said, an ostrich. It's how
ooh, or llamas, they spit.
I feel like llamas would just be like, like baseball players. Just like, nice swing.
Did you ever watch The Emperor's New Groove?
Like years ago.
Yay, I'm a llama again. Wait. That was like my favorite movie growing up. Okay, question the third, and probably my favorite question that I have asked you. What would be your Pokemon starter? Charmander, Bulbasaur, or Squirtle?
Squirtle.
Really?
I like a Squirter.
You would, but that's disgusting, and this is
honestly,
your Pokemon, so please take this seriously, Evan.
Are
you a Pokemon guy? Are you a Pokemon guy?
Okay, so I was a Pokemon guy to the point of where I belonged to Toys R Us's Pokemon League, where we went every Saturday morning. And then when that got shut down, we'd go to the card shop up the street from my house and play Pokemon. You. I sold them all for drug money when I was about.
It took a turn. Okay.
Listen, the foils got you a lot of yay. No, I think I might just kind of bypass your options, Kobayashi Maru it, if you will. Mm-hmm. And I think I'm going to do a Jigglypuff.
You know what? It makes me so happy that you say that, because I am bypassing my options as well, and I'm taking a Pikachu. I'm very
I honestly feel like a Pikachu is like the very like hipster thing to do. Like everyone's doing it. Like
don't care.
Buns and sideburns.
Don't care. I love me some Pikachu. Like to the point when I find out that I passed my test, because I am putting good thoughts into the world. I'm going to pass my test on my first try. I am getting a Pikachu tattoo. I'm doing it. It's happening.
Where?
On my arm. Probably right here.
Okay. I once tried to get a girl to get a Pokemon tattoo.
Tramp stamp?
On her vagina. It was going to be the Pokeball, and right above it was going to say, gotta catch them all.
Did she go for it? Did you give her drugs for it?
No, I offered to pay. I mean, we were hammered, but I offered to pay. Gotta catch them all.
Ow.
Random dicks. Toilet paper, over or under?
Oh, over. 100%. Under, get
if
out
it's
of my
not
house.
Over, you're a psychopath who deserves to be put on death row.
I agree. Wait, right. Evan, we finally agree on something.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
So I have one more.
Bonus question.
Bonus question.
Okay.
If peanut butter wasn't called peanut butter, what would it be called?
Nut mush.
Nut schmear.
You win. Schmear is so much better. Yep, there you go. Nut mush. That's my answer.
Nut mush or nut schmear. If you listen to this or you're watching this on Instagram or YouTube, drop a comment. Let us know.
What do you
schmear or mush?
Or what's your answer for? I
had a couple of them.
The other name for no. I want to hear our listeners' answers for it.
Okay.
All three of them.
Nut schmear. I'm really liking that.
Nut mush.
Gotta catch 'em all. Nut schmear. So, thank you everyone for spending time with me and Andie Sausage Pudding here. Plap, plap, plap. If you're listening to this, then I don't need to tell you to follow us or listen to us or subscribe, but maybe tell your friend, tell your mom, tell your dentist, but just make sure when you go to the dentist.
Your gynecologist.
Yeah. Say, hey, listen, what you doing your business down there? Okay.
4 out of 5 gynecologists listen to DSP.
Yeah. 4 out of
Those are
5
made up stats right there.
gynecologists call it nut schmear.
Yeah. Also proctologist. We gotta go.
So with that, thank you for me and Andie. Thank you for hanging out with us. Stay tuned for next week's episode where we have the one, the only Chad German from on Instagram at Utah_electrician. Electrician. It is one of those two. And I promise he does not talk like this.
No, he's very entertaining. I get a little tipsy in that one.
Spoiler alert. This was recorded on St. Patrick's Day, Eve. Andie,
no, St. Patrick's Day.
Well, St. Patrick's Day Eve. It was the evening of St. Patrick's Day.
Sorry, yes.
It was drunk o'clock. Lightweight white girl Andie went ham on
green beer. I was in spirit at least.
Yes. By the end, we had to turn Andie's camera off because of what she was not wearing. Let's just say.
Whoa! Look at that. We just got so many new followers. And good night.
So stay tuned for Andie Pop Nut Schmear on OnlyFans. I am Evan. That is Andie. And remember, be yourself. Be yourself. Be yourself. Butt cheeks.